The surprising secret behind your math blocks. Hi, I'm David E. Smith Jr. and welcome to the Road to Genius series. I'm here to tell you that you are all geniuses. And I'm going to introduce you to a secret behind your math blocks. And believe me, there are many secrets that you need to know about. Thus, as your vision becomes clearer, you'll be able to see through the blocks and then you'll realize you're a genius. Now, I know over your period of life, you've conquered numerous challenges, and yet you can't do easy mathematics in your head. Ever wonder why this is the case? Well, in this brief segment, you're most likely to discover the one factor that you struggle with when it comes to working with mathematics mentally. And I assure you, it's not the factor you think it might be. Now you see, it's neither your natural mathematics ability nor any of the various lame explanations you've conditioned yourself to believe. In essence, what I'm here to tell you is that in many instances, you were taught math incorrectly and moreover, inefficiently. Now, the actual reason that you're not a computing genius is calculating basic and advanced math problems in your head is very difficult because you were given crutches. Crutches within your learning environment, broken crutches. Actually, performing the correct calculations of mathematics sits right before your very eyes. Let me show you an example. Okay, here's a quick example, and we're going to go mental on this, but I'm going to have you just take a look at this 129 plus 692. Can you do it mentally? Well, you were taught from what? You were taught to do everything from right to left. But so if we're going to do this, we're going to do 9 plus 2 is, it's 1. And then you got to carry the 1, which makes it 3 and 9 is 12. So you put a 2 here, and you put a 1 up here, and 6 plus 2 is 8. Now, what if we did this again? I'm going to do this way. 129 plus 692. And instead of going from right to left, we're going to go from left to right, right? Left to right. So 6 and 1 is 7, but before you put down a 7, take a peek over into this middle column here, right? And this middle column, you can see it's 11. So this 6 and 1 and 7 can no longer, because you're going to have to carry it over. So 6 and 1 and 7, and you take a peek over, and so instead of 7, it's 8. And so you know that there's a 1 already here because you already carried 1 over. So we could put down a 1, but let's take a peek over to the right. 9 and 2 is 11. So instead of a 1, this would be a 2. And you know that this was 9 and 2 is 11. There's a 1 left over. So you ask yourself, which is faster? But let's do it this way. I really want you to do this mentally, but I'm going to do this by writing this down. Right away, you just know 6 and 2 is what? 8. You know 8 in your mind. Keep that in your mind. But we're taking a peek over into this middle section over here. Right? This middle section. So 4 and 7 is 11. So instead of 8, we know we got 9. Right? And then 4 and 7, you knew there was a 1 because it was 11. So we could put down a 1. But let's take a look over here. 8 and 5 is 13. So instead of a 1, we put down a 2. And it was a 13. So the 3 was at the end. So it's 923. Let's go over here. 8 and 7, 15. I could put down 15, but let's take a peek. Oh, it's only 7. It doesn't carry over. So you know right away you got 15. Right? And then you got I would say a 7, but look over and take a peek. 6 and 6 is 12. So instead of a 7, you have an 8. And then you got a 2 on the back end. It's just that simple. So you can see how it goes from left to right. Now, this is one of many secrets kept from you. Now, 1 secret, 2 secrets, 3 secrets, the list goes on the different kind of secrets that are out there. But however, your vision is now becoming clearer. So if anything, like I said before, this one has been hidden right before your very eyes. The block is simple. Now you've been taught to do mathematics backwards. Now if you happen to do it any other way, it's considered a trick. So when in fact, you should always understand and always remember that calculating math problems should be done from left to right. Doing anything in a backwards fashion can lead to a disastrous result. And doing math backwards can certainly show you the way to disaster. Yeah, I know. You've been accustomed to doing math backwards all your life. I get it, right? But do you think driving a car backwards to your destination is the best way to go? Look, You've been educated in mathematics from back to front, from right to left for so long that it may even be hard to think of doing math any other way. I get it. But think of it. When you read a number, just how do you do it? Let me give you an example. When I give you like 3 digits, I'm going to give you a 1, I'm going to give you a 2, and I'm going to give you a 3. How would you say it back to me? 1, 2, 3? Or should I ask you, what did you claim yourself when you heard the numbers? How did you say it? Let me guess. Did you state the numbers as 123? Or did you say 1, 2, 3? Whatever you claimed, I'll bet you did not state, 3 ones, after that 2 10s, that makes 20, and afterwards 100s. No. The truth is your mind processes numbers from left to right. The same way that you pronounce words, right? The same way you write numbers, the same way you think of words and numbers. You write it from left to right. You read from left to right. So you see, the intellectual training part of your mind, when reading backwards, is trying to process the numbers in the opposite direction. As you continue to go against the grain and try to calculate in the opposite direction, it only leads to disaster. Truth be told, right? Truth be told that it is one block. This is just one block that leads to mental frustration. There are many others, but this is one that's going to clear a good path for you. So are you starting to see why you have a hard time to perform calculations in your head? See, your mind is like a wrench stuck in a car gear shift. Now remember when I alluded earlier to the car, I talked about the car? Well, what would happen if you were educated to drive a car similarly to the way that you were taught to perform mathematics? Actually, it is like starting to drive in 5th gear as opposed to 1st. You would find it very difficult to get going. Certainly, you would never get anywhere quick. And also, you would certainly be a risk to everyone else that's on the road. Pretty quickly, I might add, you would become frightened of the other vehicles that are on the road. You'd become frustrated. Ultimately, you would just quit driving and completely settle for public transportation. Now, wish to know one more surprising key? I got one for you. It's up to you to learn about this. But it's up to you to learn about this. It's up to you to take the time. And as many institutions today, you have to understand that they stick to what is true and tried, or tried and true math principles, principles of the old. They're not looking to change. But you, the genius, are here to change. So sadly, you can begin to understand the traditional approach does not always work. If it did, why are there millions of people suffering from mathematics anxiety? In the United States alone, it's terrible, it's horrendous, it's unacceptable. But why do we lack the fulfillment of many technology jobs? It's because we lack in mathematics. And this is not something that needs to be, a part of our system, a part of our economy, a part of our learning. So look, if you find out absolutely nothing else concerning mathematics, start computing from the left to the right. Simply by just beginning to use this simple method I just showed you today, you'll read off the correct answer each time. And you'll ask yourself why you missed out on the secret of mental math for so long. Ask yourself, are you ready to create and express your genius? I know it's in you. Do you? Let me know, okay, what you think. And if you have any questions or comments, put it down below. It should also help other people in their mathematics. Share tricks, share tips. Let us know. Share them with me. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, all you geniuses.